Hoi hoi chummers, this is Dan, the GM, welcoming you to What the Dice Halloween special. This season is Shadowrun. Well, let's meet our runner.
Hey there, this is Ethan. I play Cypher, our street samurai. Oh dear, that guy's neck shouldn't have bent that way, and why is he still talking to me?
Listener discretion advised. Content warning level green. Standard Shadowrun subject matter. Foul language, sex, violence, drugs. For all of our content warning, none of these subjects go into graphic detail, but it is involved in the story of the episode. Listener discretion advised.
Hey everyone, this is Box. So, Cypher's made her way up. We found out a little bit of information about where this place is, or at least what this place used to be. And it seems as if there's something amiss. Something creepy, something crawly, something, extra planar, maybe a threat. But that's not the point. The point is Cypher's down there. We don't know what's going on. We don't know what's following him, and neither does he. But we're finding clues and drawings that are coming to life, and standees that are following him, and projections that are just turning on at random. My friend, Cypher, if you could hear me, my friend, you are not in a safe place. Let's see what else is going down. The camera fades in as we see dust settling in the air around us. The sound of a metal hatch hitting the ground is what catches our attention as we look off to the side and we see Cypher slowly pulling himself up this cartoon-like ladder. As he steps up onto the concrete and pulls that hatch behind him closed, it almost crinkles away like paper. As you come into this room is full of those film canisters. Every rack is filled with these massive gray tins. The labels have been long worn away, and the metal hatch that you came through is gone now that you've closed it.
Cypher, nothing unusual about metal hatchways disappearing on the floor. Nothing unusual, really. Oh, look at some of the canisters. Are they still like sealed canisters, or?
They have the metal clip seals, but they might not. The magnet strips may not hold up. The film itself may not have held up to time, but you could always open one to find out.
Yeah, we'll crack one just to see if there's still actual potential sealed.
As the metal band releases and you start to carefully open up this film tin, it begins to drip ink.
Same consistency as the ink you saw downstairs?
Yes.
Well, I think I'll leave the rest of these closed because I don't know if I want to add more ink to this issue. So he'll give the room another quick glance and start heading towards that door to the left.
All right. The door to the left, as you push it open, this looks like it might have been the editing room where they would cut the final film and get all the final labeling, like titling and stuff like that inside. Looks like the door is smashed open and the equipment is completely gone and beyond repair.
You'll make sure there's no tape sitting in there like there has been on the first floor.
Alright. Nope, nothing that you see.
Alright. Barring that, he's going to go check this door up here and open it.
As you peer through the door, you notice something unusual. Walking would be a loose term, but this creature of pure blacky ink is moving through the halls. Its arms swaying slowly, its one large white eye looking around slowly, as it just seems to be meandering down the hall.
Very quietly for his audio recording. Encountered unusual ink creature slogging around, large white eye, spindly, inky arms. Can't say I've seen one of these before.
It has disappeared down the hallway by the time you finish that recording. You can definitely tell where it's been, as the floor has these dried ink lines throughout.
Does it look like it's been, like, patrolling?
Or wandering, it's hard to say, because a lot of the floor has, like, sections of dry ink or sections of wet ink where it has been constantly moving around.
Alright. Cypher will quietly come out of the room, and he's going to go towards the first set of doors to the northwest of him.
These are bathrooms, but the one thing you are noticing is that the water that's in the toilets is this blacky ink. It has got a bubble to it, as it's not quite overflowing, but every now and then a bubble will pop and, a little bit of this strange ink will land on the floor.
He'll be very mindful of it and check for anything useful in here.
No, just a bunch of... He's a bathroom with a bunch of ink on the floor.
Alright, he'll go and check the next set.
In the next bathroom, you walk in and you see scribblings on the wall. Words of, he's coming, Batty Batworth, gone but never forgotten, the Pie Eye sees all. Weird, almost occult-like symbols scrawled in this weird, fluidy handwriting. Almost looks like cursive.
Could I check magical threats on those runes to see if they're a problem, or?
Yeah, absolutely.
4 hits.
You have never seen any arcane symbols like these before. Either they are custom arcane symbols, or maybe they're just old enough to where you don't recognize them. But they don't look hostile. They are very fluidly drawn. Most runes that are aggressive tend to have more sharpness to them. These seem more fluid-like.
He'll check his camera. He's still recording, right?
Yep, still recording.
I was gonna say, I don't remember if I carried anything to write or sketch stuff, or I thought I did, but that would be in my pack, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Alright, I'm gonna quietly come out this room, and I'm going to head diagonally to the southeast and check this room over here.
As you come out of the bathroom, you hear what sounds like heavy-soled shoes, like those older dress shoes that are clunky. It almost sounds like you hear them running away, and you hear the telltale giggle of Batty Batsworth, but you see nothing. As you walk into this room, these are recording studios. In here, you see what used to be the control room for a recording studio. There's sound consoles and recording and tape editing strewn about. Inside one of the tape decks, you actually find a plastic tape, but everything else seems to have got a layer of thick, dry, black dust. It's almost like dried powdered ink, just covers everything.
Alright, he's gonna cautiously pop the tape out, load it into his player, and listen to it.
Man, Verizon ordered another movie. I couldn't figure out a script or anything until Batty showed up in my dreams. He offered me help in exchange for helping him see the world? I don't know, man. It could have been something I ate. It could have been something I drank. But I don't know.
Wow, that's not good. I think I have an idea what's going on here. Cypher's gonna think back to his training and knowledge on the various type of creatures that this could be. That sounds like it was helping the director.
Roll a... do you want to look for things that are more helpful or more harmful?
Both?
Roll me a memory check.
2 hits.
So, it's been a while since you've had the class on spirits. You know that there are about 10 variations of spirits that are helpful and a gambit of them which are harmful. Without having some more proof or clues, it's hard to determine what you're dealing with.
Alright. Cypher will, to his audio, HQ, we're dealing with a possible spirit-type creature. Still looking for more information based on recordings in the Old Horizon Ruby Screen Studios. He's like, sounds like potential, enter dream, ask for, give you what you're looking for potential reward type situation. We'll have an update later.
Before you exit the control room for the recording studio, I want a perception check, please.
3 hits.
With 3 hits, you go to exit, and as you touch that door handle, you happen to glance out and you see that black, inky creature walking around. And it stops, and it stares at this poster of Batty Batsworth. Its tendril-like hands move up to its head, and it makes what looks like a copy of Batty's ears. And it cocks its head to the right, cocks its head to the left, and then continues on as its tendril-like hands slowly droop down.
Did it keep the Batty ear look?
No, it looked like it was copying it for a second, and then it lowered its tendrils.
Alright. He will let the ink creature go by once again. And then very quietly slip out the door, head up to the north, and go into the room north of him.
As you go to the north room, this is one of the animation floors. Well, animation suites. You see the walls are all lined with computers. Back in the day, they were probably state-of-the-art. They all have those drawing tablets on them. You see on the wall images and references of the different Batty Batworth and Batty Batworth friends that have passed on through the series. You see different pictures of the studio during its heyday. Looks like even though they were constantly slammed by what you've heard on the tapes, it seems as if there's a connection between all the animators. There's pictures of them sharing lunch or wearing the strange headband with the ears, laughing and making jokes. Give me a perception check.
Ouch. I'm gonna edge myself on that.
Alright, go for it.
There we go, 4 hits.
With 4 hits, you're looking at the different desks and back and forth between all the different workstations, and then you noticed tucked underneath one of the keyboards, looks like there's another tape.
Oh, let's see what you guys got to say today.
It's 6 a.m. I power on the computers, and what do I see? I see an absolute sea of fucking blue screens. I told IT to update everything on the weekend, so this really happened. And now I'm gonna have to walk through 50 animation computers to restart everything.
What are the chances you get 50 blue screens in one morning? Cypher will very quietly duck out this room and go up to the room above him.
This is another animation room. You see the same kind of setup as the room prior. Walls lined with the computers. This is a different group. It looks like the group you were with was foreground characters. These are all background characters in cleanup. Same thing. You see pictures on the wall of the old studio and back in its heyday. The same smiles, all of them wearing those strange headbands with ears. They're all smiles and things of that nature. As you go from desk to desk, you notice that, yeah, everything looks like it's been fried. All the circuitry, you can smell the ionization still lingering in the air. There's also that stale feeling of air without movement. And then you start to notice that the ground is a little damper than you would remember. It seems as if the ground itself has about an inch of this ink that is constantly in this state of flow. You can't tell where it's coming from. Give me a perception check.
Max hit my limit, 6.
With 6 hits, you look around and then you start to notice coming from the air vents is this slight drizzle of ink that is coming out of the air vents, down the wall, and onto the ground. It seems to be constant, something you just didn't notice prior. And the ink seems to be saturated the carpet. And even past that, it's oversaturated in where you have about an inch of ink that you are pretty much standing in. It's got this thickness to it where it doesn't really slosh, it more just oozes. As you start to leave, you notice that in a small little wall-mounted inbox is another tape.
Before he'll open the door, he'll take that tape, pop it in, and listen to it.
Well, this is a life of luxury. I'm sitting in a dark office using my comm link to write the next song. State of New York studio. This piece of shit lipstick job is falling apart. Started a month ago. Comlink's no longer having signal. First we thought it was some local work on the nearby tower, and it would be better in a day or 3. By the end of the week, sure. And the hardwire lines have static in them. How can brand new, state-of-the-art building designed for this? There's some serious rat problems in our walls. Someone's messed up an installation. Either way, these problems are getting old. Real fast.
Comms. Lights not working, things not working right. Yeah, I'm starting to see a trend here, and I don't think I like it. Cypher will stow this one, and he's going to very quietly sneak out the door and go into the room diagonal north of him.
In here is the projection room. You see that the projector is currently off. You feel that same pressurized air around you. There's a couple of empty tins that films used to be in. There's a warmth to this room as if the projector was on recently, because it was.
He's gonna go around, check the room, check the projector. He's gonna study this room since the darn thing turned on earlier.
As you get to where the projector is, and you can kind of see out into the auditorium below, you notice something that's a little weird. Every seat is filled with a standee of Batty Batsworth. But that's not the weird thing. The weird thing is that they're all set to look up at the projector.
He's gonna check the projector and see what's loaded in it.
There's no film set up on the projector.
He'll see if there's any film left in here.
Yeah, there's some canisters with film that are left open. The films look like they're a little old, but they should still be at least viable.
Out of curiosity, he's going to take one, load it into the projector, flip the switch, and see if those batty stand-ins switch around.
Well, this is an old school projector. I don't think you've ever seen one or used one, so let's... God. This is gonna be a roll, and it's gonna be a... We will call this one a hardware test.
0 hits.
As you load the film and you start to get it rolling, the projector jams and the film just goes up like flash paper. Within an instant, it is completely incinerated. As you look out to see what's going on downstairs, the auditorium is empty. There are no standees staring up at you.
That's completely normal. There's nothing unusual going on here. Just another busy day here at the studios. I'm not going insane or being harassed by spirits. Nothing like that. Alright, to prevent myself setting the place on fire, I'm going to very quietly go across the hall into the next room.
Before you fully exit, you happen to just turn around to turn off the projector because you don't want to set the place aflame. And as you look at the projector, the lens is cracked, the light bulb is missing. The thing looks like it hasn't been touched in eons, it almost feels like. There's this thick level of dust and dried ink. And then you look down at the film canister that you were messing with, and there is a tape sitting where the film was.
Alright, I see you guys want me to listen. Cypher will put this one in and listen.
So last night, I come in to work on my DAW. The whole fucking recording system was completely fried. Like the wires burnt hell into a puddle. Apparently there was a fire, a bad surge protector sparked, and I don't know what's going on, but I swear they built this place on a burial ground or something.
Cypher will take the tape out, hook it with the others, and is definitely starting to feel that, yeah, someone did something really dumb here.
As you start to reach for the door handle to leave this room, you stop and you hear that sound of this creature moving through this inky carpet. It stops and stares at the wall or the reflection on the other side of the door. It cocks its head to the side. Its tendrils slowly reach up, making the little bat ears on its head. It cocks its head to the other side. His tendrils slowly slither down, and he begins to walk off again.
So that's twice now it's done the whole bat ear thing as it goes by.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, Cypher's gonna quietly go to the room across.
In this room, it looks like it might be another editing suite, but for more music to video sync up. You see two screens. You see small soundboards with faders. You see tape decks and other pieces of equipment to mix sound and video at the same time. Each one completely destroyed. It looks like someone went hay in here with a hammer or a crowbar or something.
Upon seeing the destruction, he's going to look to see if there's anything worthwhile in the room, any cassettes, weird objects out of place, you name it.
Alright, give me a roll.
2 hits.
With 2 hits, you move a couple of things around, and it looks like inside of one of the sound editing suites, you find a small cassette tape.
He'll nod to himself, pick that up, and listen.
2 years. 2 fucking years. 15 cartoons. 1 movie. Several commercials. But something's been acting up. The newest movie is behind the track. And the episodes we had stenciled aren't there right. Oh, and I found out scripts are now missing pages and music files are getting corrupted. I don't know what's going on.
Cypher will shake his head, take the tape out, put it with the rest, and goes, "Yep, someone got something's attention." He's gonna quietly step out of the hall and go into the room just above.
Stepping into this room, it's uncomfortable. There are server racks that are charred beyond recognition. Wires melted into the walls. Even the metal racks that the servers mount into are melted down into a slag. Whatever ignited a fire in here was not a normal fire. Looking up, the sprinkler system doesn't look like it was engaged. The fire's all situated on the metal, the servers, the wiring. Nothing past the actual physical units. You even pull a couple of the slag piles out of the way to look at the outlets, and the outlets, besides where the plastic had melted to the outlet, they're undamaged. You hear what sounds like running, followed by giggling, followed by that weird sloshy sound as that creature is walking past again.
Curious, is there any type of roll I can make to see what type of fire this was or what caused it?
Demolitions would be your best one, but you wouldn't. I don't think you have any points in that.
I do not.
You could roll it untrained with a -1.
I'll give it a try.
Okay.
Yeah, no hits.
Yeah, you have absolutely no idea. You know that it shouldn't. You know that common sense tells you that if the fire broke out in here, this whole place should be, especially one that is hot enough to melt the metal on those servers. This whole room should be just complete. This whole building should be up in smokes. Like, there shouldn't be anything here.
Yeah, he's definitely got the feeling that something has gone wrong. Gone wrong and still going wrong in this building.
And then I need a perception check.
2 hits.
2 hits. Underneath one of the slag piles, you do find an undamaged tape.
How about that? Metal servers, metal racks turned to slag, but the tape, pristine as ever.
Oh, no one said it was pristine. It's just undamaged.
So, I'm in the animation studios today, and it's getting near closing time. We're getting ready to call it for the day, and what happens? We hear a click, and everything goes black. Not even the emergency lights turn on. I think that was the third power outage in one day. I needed to head all the way down to the fucking fuse box to see what tricked it. The rest of the animation team is tired and annoyed, and I really can't blame them. So we're gonna try getting what we can done, and then I'm just letting them go for the day.
Three power outages in the day? That sounds like a slightly inconvenient way to run your day. Cypher's now going to, curiously, he's going to wait and see if that creature goes by like it has the last several times he's been in a room.
Okay. Are you going to duck down, hide anywhere, or what's your plan?
He'll duck down behind the door and listen.
Alright, roll me your stealth. It's not stealth, is it? It's sneaking. Roll me your sneaking.
2 hits.
As you are ducked down, you are on the side. As you duck down, you sit at a position where you can look up and see it passing by, but it stops and looks at the glass. It's not looking in. It's looking at its reflection. And it does the same thing. Its tendrils slowly move up its form to its strange head with the single pie-cut eye, and it begins to extend its tendril up to make it look like it has bat ears. It cocks its head to the right, cocks its head to the left, lowers its hands down, and moves on.
Alright, having seen this thing do this now multiple times, Cypher is wondering if there's anything in his training or teachings of creatures doing stuff like this, making the same gestures over and over again, and following it. It looks like he's assuming the same path around the building.
From what you can tell, yes. But go ahead and roll. You can do extraplanar threats, or if you want, you can do a memory check.
Memory check with 3 hits.
3 hits. You remember one of the agents from a squad known as the Toy Makers. talking about how there are some creatures out there that use simple indications to be friends or to be friendlies, or as symbols of identification. As you watch this creature, you notice that every time it passes a image of Batty Batsworth, it does the same thing. You also remember back that every picture you have seen on this floor, the employees are wearing those weird batty headbands with the batty ears on it. The same ones that you have in your inventory.
Yeah, Cypher's kind of like, gonna go out on a limb here. He's gonna take them off his hook thing and put them on.
Okay. So you are now wearing batty ears.
Yep, and Cypher's like, now hopefully either I'm showing you I'm a friend or I'm initiating a mating ritual. I don't know which.
What would you like to do?
He's gonna wait to see if he can hear that critter sloshing off before moving again.
Yes, it's definitely moving away.
Now he's gonna quietly go to the final door up here.
In this room, there's several large filing cabinets, each one labeled scripts. You see time, or you see dates or episode indications on them. You rummage through a couple of them. They're all old paper scripts. The paper is yellowed with time, and there's still that weird, inky smell to the air.
He'll give the room a thorough go over before moving on.
All right. Roll me your perception.
2 hits.
As you open up one of the filing cabinets, you leaf through the scripts. You see a strange lump between a couple of them, and lo and behold, you find yourself another tape.
Same thing as always, he'll load it up and listen.
Fuck. The fucking server room just caught fire. All the servers are destroyed. Everything is just burnt to an absolute fucking crisp. Everything is gone.
So the server room just caught fire. You can hear everything's going on, alarms going off, but no fire suppression. No one bothered to go hit fire suppression. That's kind of odd. Cypher will, to his audio log, he's like, definite note with the issue going on here. Seems like all the modern equipment has suffered malfunctions, degradation, being slagged randomly with no fire suppression. I'm starting to wonder now, I wish I'd looked down further to see if the older artwork and all that survived without being damaged. I'm kind of wondering if maybe this creature, or whatever it is, didn't want to modernize. Alright, Cypher is gonna listen out the door to see if the creature goes by.
Roll me a perception check.
3 hits.
With 3 hits, you stare down the hallway, and the thing you notice is that this thing is bleeding through the rubble. Like, it is just passing through the rubble like it is water through a strainer. As it steps through, it leaves that distinct black ink. As it moves towards, it stops just before the turn, and it stares at the glass and you through it. It cocks its head to the side. It holds its hands up, creating those same ears. Cocks its head to the other side, and then continues on.
There's no doubt that creature saw him, right?
There is no doubt it looked right at you.
So far, so good. Now, hopefully, it doesn't get angry about me wandering around these halls later. He's going to very slowly and quietly start making his way down south to the hallway. He will go to that door and check that out.
The door to the north, as you look inside, this is very different than any of the other rooms you've been in. The door is it's a barn door, basically. It slides right and left, free floating. You push it off to the side, and this is very reminiscent of the old school animation studios. There's stacks of celluloids. There's a celluloid capture system. There's this giant vat of ink that is being constantly filled by this giant pipe that's just jutting out of the wall. Every station has pens and pencils and indications of what character they're drawing, and this is all hand-drawn stuff. This is a massive room dedicated to hand drawing, and it looks like it was haphazardly built. This looks like this may have been a giant meeting room that everything was ripped out, and these desks were haphazardly thrown in to make things work.
Cypher will go in and pull the door closed behind him. He's going to take a look to see if this room suffered like any catastrophic damages compared to the other rooms.
Roll your perception.
Max 6 hits.
With 6 hits, you start going through. The pencils are old and the ink in the wells is still fresh. The pencils are well sharpened. The celluloids, they're aged. They're a little bit more fragile than they should be, but that's just how they aged. The paper is aged and yellowed. The pictures of reference images are yellowed, but still very visible. You can hear the bubbling of the ink, and you also notice that there is ink that is both traveling down and up at the same time. And sitting in the center of the room at one of the artist stations, you see a drawn image of Batty Batsworth. His wings are outstretched, and he has this smile. No, not a smile. A smirk. His pie-cut eyes stare as if they are looking at you. It is almost unnerving how this drawn image sends a shiver down your spine. Your eyes slowly travel down from the drawing station, and you see a tape sitting next to the pens and pencils.
Cypher will calm himself, get himself composed, and then pick up the tape and slap it in.
Well, power's out again. 3rd time this week. I don't know if it's me. There's some other people that's been complaining, so I guess I kind of know that it's not just me. 6 hours recording music using my comm link again. This sounds terrible. Good or bad, I'm hoping I can fix it at home. If not, I'll have to try and record it again at my flat. I swear. Sometimes I should just move my sound equipment to my flat. Seems to work better there.
More technology crapping out. Old stuff looks like it's primed, ready to go years later. Cypher will, after listening to that, he'll check that Batty cartoon. Just go over and check it out.
As your eyes travel back up to the paper, it's still there. That sun-settling smirk, those pie-cut eyes staring at you. He's cute, but almost too cute. It's kind of like the idea of sometimes the cutest animal are the most dangerous because you let your guard down. You don't remember Batty Batsworth ever being a villain, ever being on the wrong side of the law. He was always the good guy, always the one giving the helpful advice, always the one telling kids to chase their dream. But this image of Batty Batsworth seems cocky, as if it knows something.
I'm gonna do a extraplanar threat analysis of this ink cocky little bat.
Mm-hmm. How do you want to determine what the threat is? Because it is just a drawing. It hasn't moved. It doesn't seem to be giving any overt. You can't tell if you're just being unnerved by what's going on, or what? Like, how are you going to determine its threat?
Cypher is going to look at that thing from head to toe, wings, arms, face, legs, you name it. He's going to scrutinize the living hell out of that picture.
You sit down at the chair that's in front of this station, and you lean in and you begin to study this thing intricately, looking for anything that might stand out. A brushstroke that looks odd, a pencil marking that is just too perfect, or even hidden symbols throughout. What'd you get on that perception?
3 hits, I'm sorry.
With 3 hits, yeah, the gloves look weird. They don't look right. Go ahead and give me that extra planar threat roll.
3 hits.
With 3 hits, you stare at the gloves, and the gloves look weird. You remember Batty Batworth always wearing those cartoon white gloves. This time, his gloves look more form-fitted, more like actual gloves that have been reinforced. Something maybe a runner would wear. But it's not so overt because they kept them white. It's just they don't look so soft. They look a little harder in the drawing.
Yeah, so the gloves are definitely, something is not right with the gloves.
Like maybe they were drawn badly, but it's hard to exactly tell the difference. But you definitely know that they're not his normal gloves.
Cypher will look at the gloves and rub his chin. That ain't right. What's going on here, huh? He will give the smirking baddie one last look, narrow his eyes at it, and then prepare to leave the room and head down into other parts of the halls he hasn't been in yet.
Okay. There's a point where you and the ink creature almost cross paths. The ink creature stares at you, does the same thing, raises its hands up to create the ears, cocks its head one way, then the other, and then instead of moving on, it backs up to give you space to continue on.
Interesting. He'll kind of nod at it in a way and go past where it gave him space to go.
Okay. Into that room in the south?
Yeah.
As you walk into this room, this is definitely a recording studio. There's different types of mics, some for music, some for capturing voice. You see little stands that still house a handful of scripts that are highlighted. There's the smell of lingering cigarettes in the air. The soundproofing has brought it away a little bit. But there's that funk about this place that, has seen time.
Cypher will check around the room, look at some of the scripts and lines, and just get a good feel for the room.
Give me that perception check.
4 hits.
With 4 hits, you poke around, move a couple of things around, just kind of getting a sense of everything around you. The soundproofing on the walls nearly just disintegrates when you touch it just because of how old this foam is. And as you wipe your hands clean of one, you notice that the drywall's been pushed back. You peer in and you see a tape hidden within the drywall.
Huh. Odd that we hid this one. He'll pull it out, load it up.
Randall and I left the studio to get some fresh air, figure something out. After lunch and an hour of screaming at the wall, we found this old hobby shop called M's. And inside was all these old art supplies, like ink and cells, and even the presses that you need to do it all. Well, we decided to look over everything, and next thing I know, Randall comes walking up with a smile on his face. Apparently, he made a deal for us to get everything, and we can finish the movie. We're gonna have to pitch it differently, but at least it's a job.
Oh, that just struck me as a little too convenient there. Cypher will leave this room definitely feeling like something something wrong that's going on in this area this entire time, and head up to the other rooms.
Okay. Going all the way north past the rubble?
I was gonna say there's one door that looks like it's open on the bottom of this row. Is it functional or no?
Not really. When you open it up, it just hits the rubble, and inside it's just a bunch of that ink just dripping onto the ground.
Cypher's like, yep, nope. He's gonna work about squeezing through here to get to these last two northern rooms.
Okay. You're gonna go west or east first?
West.
As you walk into the west, this room is another one of those quote-unquote modern editing rooms with the matching for sound and video. Again, all of the computers are completely smashed in. Monitors chucked into walls, leaving huge dents. There's this strange ink still dripping from the AC vents.
Cypher, just another busted tech room. He's gonna look around, see if there's any tapes hidden in here.
Perception check.
3 hits.
With 3 hits, you actually end up having to pull one of the computer cases off. And interlaced with all of the motherboards and systems, there's a tape kind of neatly snug in there.
Just like you guys wanted me to find these tapes.
So Vic came to me today. Seems like our digital drawing pads have gone out. Like, all dead. They won't power on. They won't do anything. So, Vic and I went out shopping. I thought maybe some pen and paper, or even new equipment. We scoured the local city, and I just couldn't find anything. Until I found this shop. They had pen, paper, inks, everything we need to at least keep us on track. I'm gonna have to call Horizon and get an extension, though.
Cypher will just kind of nod his head. The entire city, and you just happen to find the one place you need everything. Cypher will, with the destruction in here and everything else being as it is, he's going to go into the final room over on the right side.
As you walk in, you happen to notice the little nameplate on the side. It says IT, and then right underneath it, almost handwritten into the drywall, ink production. When you walk in, there's what looks like used to be a room for IT with multiple computers. Most of the computers have been shoved into a corner, and there's only maybe 2 computers that are still viable. They're still in at least one piece. But eating up the majority of the southern part of the room is this massive tank. It is bubbling and churning with ink, and there's pipes that just disappear into the walls. There's a valve, and it shows the valve is at full capacity, constantly pumping out this ink. The smell of this ink is rancid.
Looks like I found my source of the ink here. He's gonna go study that vat real quick.
Okay. Think of like a steam engine kind of look. So it's this massive thing with all these tubes and a viewing glass that you can see. The tank is completely filled with this bubbling, churning black liquid. You can see metal pipes stabbed into the wall, feeding ink into somewhere.
And you said there's a shut-off valve on it, right?
Yeah.
And that valve is set to absolutely open, isn't it?
Yep.
Cypher, I'm gonna have Cypher do a memory check to see, with his knowledge of this type of stuff, if turning this thing off is even gonna be a good idea or not.
Roll a memory.
1 hit.
You've got no idea, but you have a feeling that it's probably not a good idea, seeing that the creatures are made of ink. They are probably being fed for this, so, cutting off the ink might make them go hostile.
Cypher will, for now, leave it open and make his way down towards the last set of doors down here.
I do need another perception check before you leave that room.
4 hits.
With 4 hits, you start to leave and then you stop. You look over at the computer desks, kind of looking over everything, and then you notice it. Stuffed between the keyboard and the tower, a little glint of plastic. You have found another tape.
Alright, let's see what fun story we have now.
Those motherfuckers won't give us the extension. So here we are in this unair-conditioned building working by comm-link light. It is ridiculous.
No extension, no money, no baddie. I wonder if that's what's causing some of the anger and angst here. Cypher will tuck the tape along with the rest of the tapes, and he will head to the southern doors and see what's in this area.
As you walk in, this is the elevator room. You see a couple of posters of the Batty Batworth shows and stuff like that. And you also see a little bit of the elevator door, the southern one. The door itself, the sliding door, has been kicked out, and you can see inside what looks like a maintenance ladder to go up to the next floor. This room has a very foul smell to it, like rotting, burnt flesh. Looking around, you don't see any bodies, you don't see anything like that, but there's just this smell in the air that is uncomfortable.
It's unnatural.
That too.
Alright. The other elevator door, what's its status?
It looks like it has been welded shut.
And this door was kicked outwards?
Yep.
Cypher will very cautiously step in and then look for this maintenance ladder.
As you start to walk in, you hear the sound of what sounds like something landing in gel or ink. Looking next to you, you see another tape just sitting in the ink that it wasn't there a moment ago.
He's like, I get it. You want me to know your story? Let's hear it.
3 power failures. 3 power failures. 1 critical failure in the servers. I don't even know what to do. I haven't seen my kids in a couple of months. My wife's talking about divorcing me. And it's all because of this problem in the studio. And I can't fucking figure it out.
It sounds like a lot of anger and negativity over the issues in this building. I wonder if that helped contribute to part of the problem here.
As you reach out and start to ascend this ladder, you can hear the churning and bubbling of ink above you as the elevator doors that are above you begin to crack open and ink begins to pour down as you fight your way up this ladder and finally break free of this flow of ink, and you pull yourself up onto the 3rd floor. We end this episode here.
One more floor up, and a face full of ink. Man, Eddie Sparks here. Let me tell you one thing, and this is between you, me, and the airwaves. Eddie's not a fan of being submerged in anything. Water, but especially ink. There's a thickness to it that just invades every orifice of your face and makes everything all nasty. Well, speaking of nasty, this place has got the creep scale up to 100. And man, oh man, if ever you need a mage, If ever you need someone who has the mojo that they can fling or see or any of that dreck, this right here is the whole reason you want one on your team. Well, Eddie's got this feeling like something's watching him as well. So, remember my friends, stick to the shadows, always keep your gun loaded, and never make a deal with a dragon. This is amiss, and I am signing out.
Hey everyone, Nightland here, co-creator of What the Dice, and player of Sparkles for Season 2, to do some thank yous here at the end of our episode. First and foremost, I would like to thank each and every single one of you for listening. We would not be here today without you, and I do mean that sincerely. We never thought we would get this far, and knowing that there's someone out there, yeah, I'm talking to you, the one with the earballs listening right now. If it wasn't for you guys and us knowing that you're actually here and enjoying what you're listening to, we wouldn't have kept going, and it genuinely fills our heart with joy, and I want to make sure that we tell you every single time at the end of these episodes. We are eternally grateful. Second, we would like to take a moment to thank all the things that we use in our day-to-day What the Dicey ways. First up, Epidemic Sound for our sound effects and music, Podbean for being our host, Foundry VTT, and Forge VTT for creating their virtual tabletop gaming applications and services, CraigBot for our recordings, Catalyst Game Labs for Shadowrun, which is the current system we are running. And with that, if you can spare a moment of effort and want to help us out, the best thing that you can do is honestly tell a friend, share us, drop a link in a Discord somewhere that you're a part of, or take that 2-second effort of hitting a like, hitting a follow, giving us a star rating. Whatever the button is on whatever it is that you're listening to us on goes a long way in helping us fight that horrible algorithm monster. Also, the Topps Company Inc. has sole ownership of the names, logo, artwork, marks, photographs, sound, audio, video, and or any proprietary material used in the connection with the game Shadowrun. The Topps Company Inc. has granted permission to What the Dice to use such names, logos, artwork, marks, and or any proprietary material for the promotional and informational purposes on its website, but does not endorse and is not affiliated with What the Dice in any official capacity whatsoever.